The first thing I noticed when he came back from the woods was that he didn't blink. Not once. I grew up in a small town surrounded by forest. Not the kind with trails and signs, just miles of trees, old hunting paths, and places people didn't go unless they had a reason. My friend Aaron and I had known each other since school. He was calm, logical, the kind of guy who laughed at creepy stories. So when he suggested we camp overnight near an old fire lookout deep in the woods, I didn't think twice. We'd done this before. Nothing bad ever happened. That's the part people never understand. We entered around late afternoon. The deeper we went, the quieter it got. No insects, no birds, just our footsteps and breathing. Aaron joked about it at first, said it felt like the woods were holding their breath. I laughed, but I noticed he stopped joking after a while. He kept turning around. Not fast, slow, deliberate, like he expected something to already be there. We reached the clearing near sunset. The old lookout tower was half collapsed, rusted, forgotten. Aaron said he wanted to walk a little further, said he thought he saw something reflective between the trees. I told him not to go alone. He smiled and said, "It's just 10 minutes." He took the flashlight. I stayed behind. That was the last normal moment of the night. 10 minutes passed, and 20. The forest felt wrong without him. The darkness came fast, too fast. I called his name. No answer. Then I heard footsteps. Relief hit me hard until I realized the footsteps were circling the clearing, slow, measured, too heavy to be Aaron's. I froze when I heard him speak. From the trees. Same voice, same tone, but the words were wrong. He said my name, then paused, like he was waiting for me to respond. I didn't. The footsteps stopped. Then his voice came again, closer. "I'm here. Come help me." That's when I noticed the flashlight light. It wasn't moving. It was fixed, shining from between two trees at chest height. Aaron stepped into the clearing. I felt immediate relief until I looked at his face. His eyes were wide, too wide. His mouth hung slightly open, and he didn't blink. Not once. I asked where he went. He stared at me for a long moment before answering. His voice was flat. I walked. I stopped. I listened. That sentence didn't make sense. He sat down by the fire, didn't heat his hands, didn't look around, just stared into the trees. I asked if he was okay. He nodded, then said something I'll never forget. "There's a place in there where the forest doesn't echo." I asked what he meant. He turned to me and smiled, but only with his mouth. We didn't sleep. Aaron stayed sitting upright all night, watching the trees. Sometimes he'd whisper things I couldn't hear. Sometimes he'd tilt his head like he was listening to something just beyond the firelight. At one point, I heard movement around the clearing, more than one set of footsteps. Aaron didn't react. I did. I grabbed my bag. That's when he finally spoke again. "You shouldn't leave me alone here." His tone wasn't pleading. It was instructional. At sunrise, I ran. I didn't tell him. I didn't look back. I just ran until I hit the road. I reported everything. Search teams went out. They found the campsite. They found our gear. They never found Aaron. Officially, he's still missing. 3 days later, he showed up at his parents' house, alive, uninjured, silent. Doctors say he's physically fine, but he doesn't speak much anymore. When he does, he asks strange questions, like how many people live nearby, or who goes into the woods. The last time I saw him, he finally blinked. Once. Then he leaned toward me and whispered, "They know where you sleep. I moved away after that. Aaron stayed, and the forest around our town, it's louder now, at night.